In this video, I'm going to show you how to replace the thermostat with housing on your Kia Sorento. Located under the hood, let's get started. So we're going to go ahead and drain the radiator. For that, we're going to start by removing the cap. Make sure that the vehicle is cold to the touch. You do not want to do this if the vehicle was recently running. So go ahead and take the cap off, and now we're going to drain it. Moving to the bottom of the front of the vehicle, we're going to go ahead and locate the drain plug for the radiator. But one thing I want to mention is your vehicle may have a bottom cover. Ours is missing. If you do have it, you will go ahead and remove it now. We're going to go ahead and unscrew the drain for the radiator. Go ahead and move the hoses to the side so you can get a little bit more room. And now we can go ahead and untwist that. Make sure when you do this, you have something to catch the coolant that's gonna come out of it. So go ahead and unscrew it. Do not take it out completely, just loosen it up. After it's done draining, go ahead and tighten the plug. Moving over to the left front side of the vehicle, we're gonna be removing these two clips. And for that, I have a small pry bar or pry tool. And we're gonna be prying on this. Sliding it off. Do the same on this side. Grab the piece of the intake and slide it out. Using a 10mm socket, we're gonna remove the negative terminal right here. Loosen it up. Do not take it completely off. Just get it loose. Wiggle the terminal and get it off. Moving to the positive terminal, we're gonna open this tab. And we're gonna be removing the terminal using a 10mm socket. Just get it loose, do not take it completely off. Once that's loose, you can simply wiggle the terminal out and move it out of the way. It helps if you close this so you can tuck it in. Now that we have the terminals off the battery, using a 12mm socket and an extension, we're gonna remove the tie down. Once you have it loose, grab it and take it out of the way. And now we can grab the battery, take it out. Next up, we're gonna go ahead and remove this intake pipe. For that, I'm gonna be using a needle nose pliers. We're gonna go ahead and squeeze on both of these clamps and slide them in. Go ahead and move them out of the way. Using a pry tool, we're gonna go ahead and slide those hoses out. Want to do the same on this one. Next up, using a 10mm socket, we're gonna go ahead and loosen this clamp. Do not take it completely out, just get it loose. Next up, we're gonna go ahead and loosen the other clamp that's on the other side of the intake tube, right over here. Do not take it completely off, just loosen it. Using a 10mm socket, go ahead and get it loose. Now that you have it loose and the hose is disconnected, you should be able to grab it and take it out. Slide it up and unhook it from the top. Next up, we're gonna remove these two 10mm bolts that hold the engine filter in place. Go ahead and take them out. And now slide the whole housing out of the engine bay. Next up, we're gonna be removing the battery tray, and for that, we're gonna use a small extension and a 12mm socket. Go ahead and remove these 4 bolts. Take the bolts out. Now grab the battery tray and slide it out of the way. Just a quick reminder, even though we drain the coolant from the radiator, there will still be some coolant left in the engine. So when we start removing hoses, some of it will come out. One thing I recommend is putting a oil pan or something underneath the vehicle to catch it all. And under the battery tray that we just removed, there's gonna be these 2 connectors. We're gonna be removing those. This one, you're gonna squeeze on the tab and slide out. And for this one, we're gonna use a small screwdriver to push on the tab and slide the connector up. So we're gonna go ahead and start with this one. Press on the tab and slide it out. And for this one, we're gonna use a small screwdriver, pry on the tab, and now we're able to swing this up and slide it up, just like that. If we follow the harness that we just unplugged, we're gonna find that there's gonna be other connectors right over here. We're gonna go ahead and unplug those. Go ahead and take them all out. There's gonna be another one right over here. And lastly, we have one more right here. Go ahead and take this one off. Now that we have the sensor unplugged, we're gonna go ahead and unclip it from this bracket. I like to use a small screwdriver. You're gonna pry on one of the sides. And as you do that, you wanna pull in and then slide the cable out. Just like that. Now that we have all the connectors out of the way, we're gonna go ahead and push down on this clip and slide it out. There's gonna be another one right here. We're gonna do the same thing. Now we're gonna go ahead and move these up out of the way to give us more access to the thermostat housing. Using a 10mm socket, we're gonna go ahead and remove these two 10mm bolts. Go ahead and take them off. Now move the bracket out of the way. We're gonna start by removing this hose right here. Using a set of needle nose pliers, go ahead and move the bracket back. Squeeze on it and slide it back. Using a 90-degree angle pick, we're gonna go ahead and break off the hose, being very careful not to rip it. We're gonna go ahead and break off that seal that's created by the heat and the time that's being on the vehicle. So go ahead and go around. And now we can pull it off. Behind the hose that we just removed, there's gonna be another one. It's gonna have the same style clamp. So go ahead and use the same tool and slide it back. Using a 90-degree angle pick, we're gonna do the same thing. And this is just to break that seal that's created with the time. So go ahead and go around, being very careful not to break the hose. And once you do that, go ahead and slide the hose out of the way. Next up, we're gonna be removing this hose. For that one, because it's a little bigger, we're gonna be using a set of locking pliers. Go ahead and squeeze on it and move it back. Using a 90-degree angle pick, we're gonna be doing the same thing. Once you have it broken off, go ahead and take it out. Now we're gonna remove this one. Do the same on this one. Using a pair of needle nose pliers, we're gonna do the same on this one. Go ahead and slide it back and take the hose out. After removing that hose, we get access to this bottom one. Go ahead and do the same thing. Now that we have access to this one, go ahead and remove it. Using a 10mm wrench, we're gonna go ahead and remove this bolt that holds this hose in place. Go ahead and take it out. Remove the bolt. Now that we have the bolt off, we're gonna go ahead and remove the hose. You can wiggle it back and forth. And just keep doing that until it breaks loose and pull it out. And now we're ready to remove the bolts that hold the thermostat housing in place. Now we're gonna go ahead and remove this 12mm nut on this side and this 12mm bolt. Using a 12mm socket, go ahead and crack them loose. And now we should be able to slide the whole assembly out of the way. Take it out. Before we go ahead and install the new assembly, we want to make sure that we have a clean surface for the O-ring that goes on this area. Using some brake parts cleaner, we're going to go ahead and spray some on a rag and wipe off that area. Make sure that it's clean of debris. Now we're ready to install the new part. Before we go ahead and install the new thermostat housing assembly, we just want to make sure that the O-ring that comes with the whole assembly is in place. So make sure that it is full flush before we install it on the vehicle. Now we're ready to install the new assembly. One thing we want to pay attention on this hole, this is the one that we want to line up with the stud. So go ahead and feed it through, being very careful not to damage anything. Line it up. Slide it in place. Go ahead and start this knot by hand. Do not tighten it yet. Just get a couple threads in. And now we're ready to install the bolt that goes right over here. Go ahead and line it up. And to figure out where the hole is for the bolt, just move it up and down until you find it, and then you grab some threads. It is always recommended to start this by hand. Do not use any power tools until you know for sure that you have the bolt in the hole. Now go ahead and get them snug. And now we're going to be torquing the knot to 17 foot-pounds. And now the bolt gets torqued to 14 foot-pounds. Now that we have the thermostat housing bolted onto the vehicle, we can go ahead and install this hose. Go ahead and line it up and slide it in. And now that the hose is inside the assembly, go ahead and install the bolt that holds it in place. Try to get it as far as you can by hand, and then get it snug. The torque spec for this bolt is 9 foot-pounds. If you can fit a torque wrench in here, go ahead and do that. If you cannot fit a torque wrench, simply get it snug and then just give it a little bit. And that should be sufficient. Now we can go ahead and install the heater core hoses. We're gonna start with the one in the back because it's a little bit harder to reach. Go ahead and slide it in. When you do this, make sure that you are bottomed out. Using a pair of needle nose pliers, go ahead and install the clamp the same way that it came out. Apply some pressure and slide it on. When you install the hose clamp, go ahead and move it to the original marking that the hose has. We're gonna be doing the same thing on every single one of them. Next up, we're gonna get the other one. Same thing, slide it in and make sure you bottom it out. And install the clamp. Now we're gonna grab the bracket that goes right here that holds the connectors in place. Go ahead and grab it and line it up with the holes. We're gonna be installing the two 10mm bolts that go right here. Start it by hand. And now get them snug. Next up, we're gonna connect the throttle body hose That goes right over here. This one goes in the back. Go ahead, slide it in. And make sure that you bottom out. Install the clamp. Let's install the next one. Slide it in and make sure that you bottom it out. Reinstall the clamp. Moving on to the next one. Bottom it out and reinstall the clamp. Moving on to the next one. Slide it all the way. We're gonna move on to this one. And lastly, we're gonna do this one. Now we can go ahead and start doing our connections. We're gonna start by clipping the harness onto the thermostat housing, line it up, and slide it in. We have 4 connectors in the front and 1 connector in the back. We're gonna start by plugging this one in. If you don't hear a click, give it a tug to make sure that it's in. Next, this one. And now this one. And don't forget this one. Clip the harness onto the bracket. And now plug it in. Now we have these 2 connectors starting at the front. Go ahead and slide it in and clip it in place. Now we got this one. Slide it. And now we have to lock this. Simply push down until you hear a click. And now we can go ahead and reinstall the battery tray. Line it up with the holes. And we're gonna have 4 bolts that we're gonna start by hand. For the 2 bolts that are located on this side that are a little bit harder to reach, I'll try to load it onto the socket and then drop it in. Once you have them started by hand, go ahead and get them snug. And now we're ready to install the engine filter box. On the back of our filter box, we're gonna have this knob that we are going to be lining up with this right over here. So go ahead and do that, starting from the back. Make sure that it goes in place and then clip it in. After you do that, we're ready to install the bolts that go right in the front. Go ahead and start those by hand. And now get them snug. Next up, we're gonna go ahead and install our intake tube. Line it up with both the throttle body and the filter housing. Starting at the top, we're gonna go ahead and slide it in. We're gonna go ahead and get this snug. Do not over tighten it. Since it's plastic, let's give it a little bit. And now we're ready to install the 2 hoses that go right over here. Starting with this one, slide it in. Make sure that you bottom it out, and now we can reinstall our clamp. And we're gonna be doing the very same to this one right here. Slide it in. And reinstall the clamp. Now we can move on to the throttle body side. Go ahead and slide it onto the throttle body. Make sure that you're all the way in, and now we can snug it up. Like I mentioned before, do not over tighten it, since this is a plastic intake tube. It will cause some damage. Using a 10mm and a long stanchion, go ahead and get it snug. Now we're ready to put coolant back in our system. Go ahead and take the cap off. I'm gonna be using a funnel to make things easier. And using the recommended manufacturer's coolant, we're gonna go ahead and fill it up. Now that it's topped off, we're gonna go ahead and remove our funnel. Go ahead and put the cap back on. And now you want to go ahead and run the vehicle until the fans turn on. That'll make sure that there's no air in the system. Go ahead and go on a short drive. Wait for the vehicle to cool down and top off fluids as needed. If all that is good, go ahead and also check for leaks. If you see anything, you'll go ahead and fix that. With the terminals facing the back of the battery, we're gonna slide it in place and move the terminals around. Now we're ready to install the battery tie down. Line it up with the hole and start the bolt by hand. Just like that. Snug it up. Now we're ready to move on to the positive terminal, and for that, we're gonna open it. We're gonna slide it over the terminal. Snug it down. Close your terminal. Reinstall the negative terminal. Line it up. Push it down. And using a 10mm socket, we're gonna snug it down. Now that both terminals are installed, we're gonna go ahead and reinstall our intake pipe, line that up with the holes, and reinstall your clips.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.